Hey there guys, and welcome back to Beyond Soul. So there's been quite a few updates in the newest update. First things first that you will most likely notice is the background video. For those of you who often watch the background video or think there's something new in the menu, it's because the video playing in the background in the menu is now different. It's been changed. So it now includes all the new ships and also some of the new fleet ships from the different corporations. Pretty cool. There's also a bit of news. It says here, launch day has been delayed by 2 weeks. So the game now launches, I believe it was the 14th of October, but I might be wrong about that. Don't take my word as gospel. The launch day from the original has been delayed by 2 weeks, but they have promised us a new feature in return. So just before the game releases, we will have what they call dreadnoughts. These will be ships. You will be allowed one per fleet, and they are so-called city destroyers. They are going to be very large, very tanky ships. They're going to deal a hell of a lot of damage. They are, in pure essence, what I honestly believed were the capital ships from the different corporations. When I first saw that the different corporations had these large, I call them capital ships, I figured that they should have been the city destroyers, but apparently no, Paraxia had other plans. Of course, I am in no way affiliated with Paraxia Entertainment, so I wouldn't know the internal ongoings. It's pretty cool, though, that we have that bit of news. It's nice to know that there is something new coming out. Moving on, the newest thing in update 9.04 is mainly Steam achievements. There are now Steam achievements in the game. So for doing different things, you get different achievements, so on and so forth. For all of you achievement hunters out there, go wild. Some of them are really, really clever. Some of them are quite simple. Build a city, build a building, so on and so forth. I myself was quite disappointed with this update. When I originally read it, I only read the brief text, which was Steam achievements, and I'm not particularly an achievement guy. I can play a game without the achievements being in it. Really don't care. However, they did add 2 new weapons, which is something I will hopefully be showing you today. Now, I haven't played around with this update yet. This is probably one of the first updates I haven't actually initially used. So, the new weapons, you have Shield Drain. It is a beam, much like the antimatter beam, that causes a significant shield damage, but also drains some of that energy to restore your own personal shields. Sounds really, really awesome. And then the Engine Inhibitor sends out a massive energy burst from the ship, disabling all nearby enemy engines for a short time. Other updates include they rebalanced AI cities building military stations. I did mention before that the one democratic city in our solar system built more military stations than the militaristic cities did. It says here about how the changes will affect them. Fleet garrison size has been increased of military stations. So at level 1, 2, and 3, level 1 used to give 12, 16, and then 20. Now military stations at level 1 give 16, then 20, then 24. It's not a change I particularly had a problem with. I never really found it too difficult. I found that 16 was pretty nice to have. I usually always kept my military stations upgraded. It's nice not to start at 12, because 12 is a bit of honestly a fiddly number when it comes to fleet sizes, because a lot of ships are 4. You're more likely to use a ship that's 4 or higher than you are to use one that's 3 or 5. 20 is also pretty nice to have, not an issue there. And then 24, again, don't really see why you would ever upgrade to 24. It does seem like a bit of a finicky number. Maybe that's just me, I haven't particularly tested it out yet. They've reduced the strength of pirates in simulated battles by 50%. Now, for those of you who have watched my other videos in this series, you'll know that I have had a problem with the military stations. I did not trust my military station reserve fleet to deal with pirates, because pirates would attack my radar stations. I would see on the world map that my garrisoned fleet would go respond, and then my garrison fleet would be wiped out. So pirates in simulated battles have been reduced by 50%. This is completely fine with me. I'm so glad that changes in. I now trust my garrison fleet more. They also made some balance tweaks so diplomatic cities are somewhat less likely to declare war. Makes sense. Fixed a bug with garrison fleets cost no maintenance. Damn it. I did notice this, and I wish they didn't change it. You'll notice I'm quite certain that when we get into our city, we were quite close to 15,000 credits per minute. Now we're going to get probably be closer to like 9,000. Not quite sure. And then other bug fixes and UI improvements. Let's get into the game. Hey there guys, welcome to Beyond Sol. We're not actually as far off as I originally thought we were. Oh, there's me getting all of my achievements. Of course you can't see them because OBS is amazing like that. Yeah, the income isn't as much as I thought. I thought I would bleed income. Apparently I have not. We're going to get straight into this. First thing we're going to do is repair our ship. Second thing we're going to do is upgrade these hangars. Can't upgrade that. Where else should we up? Well, we need to upgrade population centers apparently. I should probably have done this off camera. I'm not going to lie. Doesn't matter. Just go to build. City. Population center. And upgrade them. Not enough titanium. No problem. Just buy a ton. They also changed, I believe, how the markets work or something. I can't remember. I don't think that was listed in the update notes, was it? I believe I read that in the patch notes that they changed something to do with the market. I can't remember off the top of my head, although I could be completely lying and dreaming about it, or something of the sort, I'm sure. I'm going to sell all this osmium. Right, first thing we're going to do, go into loadouts. We're going to buy the new weapons. So we're going to buy this one, and we're going to buy this one. So this one does 100% damage to shields. I can't see it doing damage to hull. If it does, that would be quite weird. It has the same range as an antimatter beam, which is kind of evil. The fact that it's quite short range, I don't like that, but it's an antimatter beam at the end of the day. What are you going to do about it? Damage per second is 7. Damage per second on the upgraded antimatter beam, mind you, is 11.9. Okay, I think the damage per second is slightly less, but of course it's only to shield, so I can understand why. Engine inhibitor. So the cooldown is 20 seconds, energy cost is 50, impact radius is 100, and the disable duration is 2.5 seconds, which doesn't sound like an awful lot. We're going to upgrade both of these, and we're going to equip them. So these are what the upgrades do, and then I'm going to upgrade both of them. Now, what should we get rid of? I guess because we already have an antimatter beam, we're going to get rid of our antimatter beam. And then instead of the shredder rounds, we're going to get rid of... Sorry, instead of the shredder rounds, we're going to get the engine inhibitor. There we are. We also need to upgrade this. Not enough titanium still, need 50 more. Okay, I'm just going to ignore it. We're going to undock. We're going to go looking for trouble. There's our military stations. Our military stations have been... I don't have any ships in my hangar. Our military stations have been upgraded, so this is now 20 instead of 16, and this is now 24 instead of 20. We're going to move out. Right, so you can see what I mean here. This is the only diplomatic city in our system, as I am aware, unless one of the new cities is also diplomatic, but I don't believe any of them are. Oh yeah, Kujon is. But Kerr has built more military stations than or they had built more military stations than Amazon League had originally built. Also more stations than... Oh, no, Nova Oceania has built, like, a ton of military stations I hadn't even realized. Right, first things first, engine inhibitor. That's what it does. It turns out the shield beam actually does damage to the hull, which is a little bit odd, I have to admit. I wasn't expecting that to be a thing. I'm kind of also upset that there's no kind of visual effect. There's no visual indicator. We're going to go to the pirate base and see how it affects that. Hopefully then I can show you... Oh no, the shield drain won't have the range, will it? Well, if something else pops up in between the pirate base and whatever else, then we'll go to that. Right. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that the engine inhibitor doesn't have a kind of... Oops, Yeah, the engine inhibitor doesn't have kind of an effect to it. I expect it to have, like, almost an EMP pulse kind of look, which is kind of sad. Range seems to be quite good. It's 100. It's not the best. Obviously, it's shorter than the shield drain. But it seems to be... It does the job. Stops... Got another achievement there. Stops all of the ships in... Amazon League now hate me. Why do Amazon League hate me? They just design my outposts. Okay, go for it. Right, there's a battle. We're going to go set a course for that. No, we're not. It's right next to the sun. We're going to fly around for a bit. Unfortunately, guys, I do apologize. Not my fault. The game's random generation hasn't given us something better to do. There's a different battle now. We're going to go do that. Right, hopefully now I can show you that the shield drain appears to do damage to hull, which, as I said, is a bit odd. It doesn't do as much damage as the antimatter beam, granted, but that's a little bit odd. I have to admit that it does damage to hull, because it's a shield drain. Other than that, we can also, again, test out the thing. I think having a faster ship would probably be better here. We're actually going to stop the striker and the gunboat in their tracks. If we can catch up to them, which we should be able to. Oh, we might even get 3. No, we're not. We'll get these 2. Done. Oh, it does have a kind of visual effect. I just missed that before. Right. If I use this... Yeah, you could see it was doing some damage to the hull. Very, very limited. Obviously, when I had done it before, one of my ships must have been hitting the enemy. Because it did appear to be doing a decent amount of damage to the enemy ship's hull. Right. That should have got it. I think it did, but I'm not completely sure. Now we're going to move on. So anyways, about the Steam achievements. As I said, I don't think... Right, here's a thing. Here's a thought, okay? So, I can understand that... We're going to go do this battle. I can understand that, of course... That's really far away. I can understand that, of course, game development takes a very long time, and Paraxia Entertainment have done an absolutely superb job at making sure the game has consistent updates. Every single Tuesday they've done an update. Even, like, if it hasn't been a new feature, it's been bug fixes. So, my disappointment in the Steam achievements isn't technically warranted, purely for the basis that an update is an update, and they've kept all of their updates consistent. Yes, they've kept all of their updates consistent since release, since early access release. I just feel that the achievements were something that could have been held off. They were something that could have easily have been put into the release version instead. I think if they had just released the update with the weapons, it would have been a decent update. I guess I don't know. I'm not the kind of achievement person. I guess as they wanted achievements in the game to begin with, the feature was already finished, so they decided, well, it's finished, why not add it to the game? So I can understand it from that point of view as well. But yeah, all we got other than that for the new update, guys, is the new weapons. And I'm sorry that the update video is kind of like this. There's not much I can really show you. I'm using the new weapons. We'll do this battle and then we'll end the video. But apart from the Steam achievements, which you can see for yourself on the either on the Steam page or right now, if I use it, yeah, I was gonna say they should. And there you can see that the beam was doing damage. The beam also doesn't last for as long as the antimatter beam. So even though I like the idea that you're stealing shield health, it's still not as potentially as good as the antimatter beam. And I think I'm going to find myself using the antimatter beam a hell of a lot more. Just out of personal what's the word I'm looking for? I personally enjoy using the antimatter beam more than this. Of course, then you've got the engine inhibitor, which I think is really, really good. I think it's more useful in a military battle. Say if someone goes to war with me, I do have a very hard time with massive fleets, and I think if you have a lot of ships in one area, it's more useful than in these little battles where there's not many ships. So the engine inhibitor I can definitely see being extremely, extremely useful, and in fact I'm planning on upgrading it again. I'm saving up to upgrade this first though, unfortunately, so I won't upgrade it again for a little while. As I said, as for the shield drain, I think the antimatter beam will replace it. It's something that's nice to have, but for my own playstyle and enjoyment, I prefer the antimatter beam over the shield drain. It's nice to have. It's nice that, as I said, you steal the shield, so as theirs drains, yours increases. But I do think the antimatter beam is a lot better by a large significance. Just my own personal opinions. Anyways, guys, that's been it for the Beyond Soul update video. I've gone through all of the updates in update 9.04. I honestly cannot wait for the Dreadnoughts. That's likely to be in the last update before official release from Early Access, so keep an eye out for that. If you want more information, by the way, guys, you can go read the patch notes. I'll include a link in the description below. This is the first video I've actually done that for. I've gone back through the old videos and put the patch notes in all of those as well, so you can go back and view them. It's all the same link, so no matter what video you click it on, you should always go to the newest patch notes, unfortunately. Other than that, guys, I've been Phoenix Cypher, I've been your host. Leave a thumbs up rating if you have enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs down rating if you have not enjoyed the video, and leave a comment on any criticisms you might have, or if you just want a general chat. I've been Phoenix Cypher, guys. I have been your host. Thank you for watching. Adios, mis amigos. Go.